depends on what you read. One website says 55.9, another website says 52.3. So about half of the people in the state of Wisconsin being vaccinated. Um, that's difficult. We did have a positive case of COVID among the staff over here, so we have a little bit of shutdown. I don't know how long that shutdown is. Emily, can you tell me?
End of day Tuesday for now.
End
We're
of,
retesting on Tuesday.
okay. It's in our CBRF in both Hillside Terrace and Memory Care. End of day Tuesday, a quarantine in the area. We'll be retesting. Unfortunately, it's out there. If you listen to the news the other night, Amanda was just reminding me of it, that the Milwaukee has 500 cases of COVID that they can directly attribute to the Bucks winning. People who are in the Deer District, and that is unfortunate. And those are only the folks who have sought tests. So there are probably 2 or 3 times that out there that have COVID right now and are not diagnosed. So if you know people who haven't gotten the vaccine, let's see if we can get more shots in arms. That'll help us all the way around. It's kind of well, it is what it is. As I was walking over here, Mark, I see that there are trucks at the Life Enrichment Canopy. No? They left? That's not good. Okay, 16th. The canopy in Life Enrichment is interesting. Ever since we opened Life Enrichment, it has been a magnet for trucks going under and hitting it. Yeah, 3 or 4 times we've had trucks hit that canopy, and we have the height listed on the canopy. I don't know, 5, 6 months ago, at least, the FedEx truck. Oh, March 11th. Mark knows these milestone dates. March 11th, the FedEx truck hit the canopy over there and did many thousands of dollars damage to the outside and the infrastructure of the canopy. So we are gonna be repairing that. Other Oh, okay. Well, I won't repeat what I said because somebody might not like it. No, I don't know where I blacked out. But the canopy next door is going to be redone. Memory care. If you're walking around the outside, you will see landscaping going on in the memory care courtyard. That is our people doing that landscaping. They poured new concrete 2 weeks ago, I believe, almost 2 weeks ago. And they're landscaping that. There is a fence going in. A lot of positive things happening there. They've got painting just about done in the new activities area and the sensory room and the den. And we're meeting this afternoon with the general contractor to kind of take a look at what's going to happen with phase 2. So stay tuned. We're going to be moving forward in the memory care renovation. Something I need to talk about. On Monday, I was walking across the skywalk coming to the South Campus, and I noticed a police car and 2 cars pulled off the road into the Life Enrichment driveway. And upon investigation, I discovered that there was an accident out there. And it caused considerable damage to the one car. And I didn't notice the rear end of the other car, but it was it had a lot of damage, and it was caused by a resident crossing the road. And number one, there is no crosswalk here. Number 2, the resident crossed in the middle of a block, and the thing is, we can't have people walking across the road. Um, I will take you back to, and this is historically speaking, and Sarah, you can probably help me with this. That she's, well, maybe Mark too, some of the longest tenured people here. Probably about to 1992, 93. Okay, okay, so I'm thinking it's 92 or 93. We had a parking lot on this side of the road. And we'll talk about that not this week. We'll talk about that next week. But the parking lot was on this side of the road on the South Campus, and all of our employees parked over here. And we had a crosswalk, and we had to walk across the road to Shorehaven Health Center and Lake Terrace and that type of thing. And we had a CNA that was crossing the road, and a car stopped on the highway for her, and there was somebody behind them that wanted to go through and obviously was in a bigger hurry than the people who were stopping for the crosswalk, went around them and hit our CNA. And she was in the hospital for several months with many broken bones and in critical condition. And that's with a crosswalk. And when we decided to build the tower on this side of the campus in 95, the very first thing we talked about was getting a skywalk. Well, the discussion was really, do we put a skywalk in, or do we put a tunnel under the highway? Well, when we looked into a tunnel under the highway, that's not a good idea. Number one, most of the area here is below lake level, so to keep the water out would not be good. Number two, there's a lot of infrastructure under the road, sewers and water and all that kind of stuff. And number three, when we talked about it, our staff pretty much said, are you crazy? Do you know what percent of women you have on this campus? And you are asking them to go down underground in a dark tunnel to come to work. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. So we did the skywalk route. And the skywalk is there to assure people that they can cross the highway safely. So please, please, please do not walk across that highway. What happened, and we came to find out that the cars that were involved in this accident were coming from downtown, heading west, but we also heard that there were people that had to brake coming from the west to the east for this individual. So please do not walk out on that highway, especially middle of the block. The city does have, down at the end of the blocks on both sides, ramps off the sidewalk. They are not marked crosswalks, however. So stepping out there is not a good idea. When you're stepping out into a marked crosswalk, the law in the state of Wisconsin says, I, as a motor vehicle driver, have to stop for you and let you cross. There is no such thing here. So please don't do that for your safety, but also for the safety of the drivers. Someone saw this, they stopped, the driver behind did not, and rear-ended him, costly to both drivers. Amanda, you had a phone call. Oh, just a Channel 900. Okay. I'm amazed that someone would even care. That's good. That's good. Mark, do we want to talk about anything else in the way of building services or that kind of thing? Are we okay? Okay, we're okay. When you're walking around the campus, something I want to just call your attention to, there's a lot of yellow tape around on the sidewalks. And for some reason, this winter or summer or heat or whatever is causing a lot of upheaval in the sidewalks and the concrete around here. So Mark and his staff have marked that so that your attention is drawn to that, so you don't stumble, you don't trip over it. He has already made some phone calls to some mudjacking people to come out and take a look at that. We're aware of it, we want to take care of it, but it can't be immediate because we need to get on the schedule for these kind of things. Okay. Okay, we have someone who's going to come out and look this week yet. So before tomorrow, end of day, they're going to look at it. We'll take care of it as soon as we can. We want the campus to be as safe as possible. There are a couple over at Lake Terrace, but I know that that sidewalk is also scheduled for replacement. So hopefully we can get that done too, provided they have workers. Okay, a phone call, Amanda. Okay, out of commission in the household for 5 minutes. Positivity in, I'm going to just go back real quickly. Positivity in Waukesha County is up to 11.4%, which is the highest it's been in a long time. And so we've got to try to get that under control. Waukesha County is about 60% vaccinated, and Wisconsin either 52 or 55, depending on which website you rely on. Memory care courtyard being done. The landscaping is being done by our guys. And as soon as they get it done and the fence goes up, we'll see. I don't know, Mark, do you know if they're doing sod or seed? Okay. Sod and seed. Sod inside the fence, seed outside the fence. Um, okay, Amanda's got another. Quarantine, I'm sorry, yes, thank you. Thank you, Emily. Quarantine in memory care and Hillside Terrace until end of day on Tuesday. That's how long it needs to be because of exposure to, as long as we don't have another positive test in that area. Yes, Amanda. Yeah, Emily, the question is, family members and visitors at Lake Terrace, are they supposed to mask up? We will need to change signage over there if that's what we're going to do, because it does not say mask up right now. We are encouraging everyone in this time to wear a mask. I know that we've kind of backed off on that next door, but with the prevalence of the Delta variant and even affecting those who have been vaccinated, um, correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, the person in memory care, the staff member was a vaccinated person. It is very virulent, and we want everyone to take every possible uh, precaution. So I would say yes, encourage them to mask, uh, especially if they have not been vaccinated. Especially if they have not been vaccinated. Chris, anything from the volunteer angle here? Yeah, yeah. E- Extravaganza sale. 26th through the 28th, extravaganza sale. They have all kinds of things they're putting out for sale. So if you have nothing else to do on the 26th through the 28th, there'll be a tent outside there. Come and browse. Uh, Even if you buy nothing, it's always great to have a lot of people looking around. It looks good from the public. Sarah, anything? Library Day on Monday, Lake Terrace and the Towers. So if you're having some books that you need to bring back or renew or want to talk to them about favorite authors you have, that's your time. Go down and they will pick those out for you. Emily, anything that I haven't covered? Okay. Brian, we're good? Or do you have any useless information for me? Okay, we'll wait a week. Okay, good. Denise? Okay. Picnics. We've got picnics coming up. I know I got a couple of requests to grill and that kind of thing. So I love charred hot dogs, and that's what we'll be having. Charred hot dogs and well done hamburgers. Okay. Also, uh, great room activities. Let's remind our families. Great room activities are now limited only to staff and residents, no families because of COVID and the restrictions we have. Uh, I know it's a bring a dog to day work or bring a dog to work day coming up, August 18th. Good. So a pet parade that day. Okay. If you have a dog to bring, or you have a family member who has a dog that is gentle and loves people, Denise says she doesn't have a big list, so please uh, sign up. Families can't. They can bring the dog and give it to you. Okay, into Emily's office. We can't have. Yeah, you're correct. We can't have families here. I'm sorry. So it's staff. Yeah. How about a cat? Yes, bring your cat with all the dogs. That would be good. Uh, that's good. Okay. Another. Oh, okay. If you've tuned in for exercise in the morning or that kind of thing, you've seen that our activities staff is now behind plexiglass. Some more, we're forever looking at how these restrictions are changing, but we put them behind plexiglass so that they can be unmasked to be able to speak more clearly or deliver their program more clearly. So activities staff will be behind the plexiglass as well as performers to isolate them from the crowd in the great room. Oh, the question is how many people do we know how many residents at Lake Terrace are vaccinated? And from the folks I know that are not vaccinated, we are over 98% vaccinated in Lake Terrace. So I mean, there are a few people that did have, for whether it's health reasons or personal reasons, have not gotten the vaccine, but we are way above uh, everybody's expectations in Lake Terrace. We're doing a very good job of having the resident population vaccinated there. Another phone call? Ah, how, how was my vacation? Uh, my vacation was fine. Um, we went to the lake, and those of you who know me know that I don't swim. And it's not that I wouldn't like to swim, I just can't swim. I tried to swim. And but I do get up early, and the grandkids would get up early also. And they enjoyed it when I was down by the lake there, except I have some young grandkids who I'm not sure swim so well, and I can't let them go out in the deep water. So I would tell them if they're going out in the deep water swimming to the raft, they had to wear their life vest with a lot of resistance there, of course. And so it got to, as a few days into the vacation, when I was down there, they would say, Grandpa, can't you go wake up somebody who can swim? And that's kind of how the day would progress. It's fine as long as I was there, but when they wanted to go out deeper, I needed to get somebody who could swim. Amanda? Staff vaccinated on the Lake Terrace side of the campus. I do not have a percentage over there. Brian, do you have that? Yeah, and Brian's saying 30 to 70%. I have to tell you that Rockwell's is there are a few older folks there, but predominantly young people who may have not had the vaccine, and we know that there are a couple older folks that have chosen not to have it. So I'm sorry I can't give you a percentage over there. We do not have to, and the reason I don't have that is we do not have to report that to the state. we have to report this side of the south side of the campus to the state, both resident and staff vaccinations, but we don't have to report on the independent living side. How are we doing? Oh, I have 7 minutes. Not much history today. Let's take a look and see here. There. Let's see if we can take a look at this. Let's see how that, the picture here is of Murray Lure. Murray Lure is, we're picking up at about 1967, just after we talked about building the new Shorehaven in the early 60s. Murray was the first non-clergy administrator of Shorehaven. Or not even Shorehaven at the time. It was Wisconsin Lutheran Homes when Murray took over. And he came here in 67, and one of the first things they told him to do was to take a look at what we can do to expand the nursing home. We were at about 139 beds, and back in 67, 68, we were, Denise will love this, we were saying no to about 30 people a month to come into Shorehaven. We had that long a waiting list, and so they said, let's get some plans to expand Shorehaven. 139, we need more. So Murray went about getting architects and things, and with the intent of expanding. Now, we also had a bequest about 1968. Those of you who are from the area, if you go west, you before you hit the Rock River, there is a road to the right, and is it River Road or North River Road? No, River Road, I think it's called. We had a bequest of a house down near, actually part of what is today Kano Park, the Kano House, and we used it as a halfway house for folks who needed a place to live while we were constructing the new addition to Shorehaven. So we operated that as a halfway house until Shorehaven, the new addition, was done in 1974, 1975. And after that, we used that house as kind of a retreat area. We used it for staff housing, and then it was sold in 1986. You don't need a house over on the Kano Park property. It wasn't called Kano Park at that time, but it was the Kano House. We sold that and put the proceeds into the expansion of Shorehaven. This is a picture of Shorehaven in 1969, I think this was taken. And this, you notice the logo. It's WLH, Wisconsin Lutheran Homes. And that's what it was called at that time, Wisconsin Lutheran Homes, Shorehaven. And in 71, it was rebranded to Lutheran Homes of Oconomowoc. This was one of the earliest logos of the new Lutheran Homes of Oconomowoc. Shorehaven's always taken a lead in problems or concerns of the seniors. The Older Americans Act came about in the late 60s, early 70s, and Shorehaven, 2 of Shorehaven's employees were tapped to be on the governor's council. And one of them here was the immediate past administrator of Shorehaven, Pastor Schockhauser. And he spent a couple years on that governor's committee. Here you go, 1973, July 12th. Shorehaven Home will erect 96-bed addition. Almost all of the beds that we had, the 139 beds, were semi-private when we built. The old edition, Mark will remember this, all the semi-private new rooms. All these 96 beds were private rooms. And this was a big step forward for Shorehaven because it had not ever happened before that private rooms were put out there. And again, as I said, we're saying no to people, 30 people a month. This was a needed addition. Yet when it was all done and some of the remodeling of other areas, we were a 242 bed facility. This is a rendering of the dedication brochure in 1975. It was finished late 74 and the party happened in 1975. So it was a new, sleek, modern look to the old Shorehaven. As we got into things, one of the things, this is from 1984, in the 80s, things were different in the nursing home. I think we talked about that before. People drove their own cars. People came to the nursing home, parked their car, and lived here and went back. These four ladies were part of a musical group, and they had a director, and they did musical skits, and this one was called Saints Alive, and they performed for the rest of the folks. The one lady in here, Annie, was here when I got here, and she would spend a lot of time in this parlor. This was the main entrance of Shorehaven. And off to the right was the reception desk, and off to the left was a little ice cream shop, and way in the back by that window, by that little cafe table to the left was a parlor room. And that was my first office here. They didn't have a place for me, so they put me in the parlor room with Shadow the cat. I'm from the farm, so I like cats, but I like cats in the barn. And Shadow didn't like me. I took over her spot. She would stay in the parlor room, and I had an office in there. So when I would leave the office to go market an apartment over at Lake Terrace, Shadow would come in. And she would show me that she disliked me being in there by depositing little things on the carpet. So the housekeeping department and I got very well acquainted during my early days here at Shorehaven. And then, of course, we expanded the nursing department. So you would always tell a nurse back in those days, these gals didn't wear their hats, but they all had hats also. But the crisp white uniforms, I'm guessing the gentleman off to the right is not a nurse. I'm guessing he probably is in the maintenance department. I don't quite know how he got in here, but we can't do that yet. We're not going that far. We're going to stay right here. That's in the brings us up to almost 1986. So next time we'll take a look at 86, 88, somewhere there moving forward. Okay. Oh, one more question. I don't know. It's a question is the percentage of staff in the tower vaccinated. I do not know. Um, okay. But but the the um, the majority of our resident associates are vaccinated. But if it's a question of do I need to wear a mask? Yeah, I'm going to say wear a mask. I wear a mask anytime I come out of my office. There are a few of us on the other side of the campus, and I'm sometimes the only one in the cafe outside of the cafe staff that has a mask on, but I still always wear it because uh, we're mandated on this side of the campus. We're mandated at Shorehaven. I'm part of it, so I wear my mask. I don't, for this, people have a problem hearing me if I don't wear a mask, or if I wear a mask. So sorry I can't answer all those questions. We can look up some of these fun facts for next week, okay? Thank you very much.